It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey, man, we talked about Beyonce just a couple days ago, right after the. I'm talking about days ago. I'm talking about yesterday. We just talked about Beyonce and her new two new country songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. We talked about her going into the country genre and trying to infiltrate that business and that side of the business. We also talked about the inevitable resistance that she was going to face trying to go into that side of the game. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't expect for her to start getting pushed back just so soon. Song's been out for all of 2 days. However, there is a story out here circulating about not a record label, but a radio station that declined to play her song Texas Hold'em. Okay, and of course, inevitably, people are wondering if these songs are quote unquote real country or are they pop songs cosplaying as country, or if it's just pop music disguised or influenced by country. We had those conversations as well. But again, now we're talking about institutions such as radio stations, which they could put clear lines of demarcation down to say we're not playing this, even if it is. You're also going to have the challenge of urban radio, whether or not they're going to play those records, because Beyonce is typically that type of artist. When she drops music, it typically goes to those stations and dominates and does well. But of course, this goes outside of the rails and the confines of urban music. You might play it on the pop station, but I'm sure they're going to play less of it too. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this whole thing goes. That's not to say that the music is not successful in its own right already. It's just that there seem to be more roadblocks than you would expect for Beyonce. Okay, moving on. So, a fan tried to request one of the songs, Texas Hold'em, on an Oklahoma-based country radio station called KYKC. Okay? And apparently, Mr. Justin, aka Gisato, he says, I requested Texas Hold'em at my local country radio station, and after requesting, I received an email from the radio station stating, we do not play Beyonce on KYKC as we are a country music station. Of course, he wanted to let it be known. He put it on Twitter and he tagged B Legion, which is a page that actually was responsible for relaying some of this information about the country project. There's people out there that believe B Legion on Twitter is actually a Beyonce, like a page that she really uses herself. I forget what they call that shit. Like a Finsta almost. So he posts that out for the world to see. She's getting a lot of support. A lot of people were coming to her defense. And eventually, the radio station KYKC then came out to let it be known what was going on. But first, I want to get into Hit Boy, because he actually helped produce on these Beyonce records. He's been out here producing for some of everybody too. I wanted him to win Producer of the Year. He's out here producing country records with Beyonce. He's producing on the J Lo comeback album, which she says might be her final album, and she may retire from music altogether. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will be happy to hear that. He's been producing for Snoop, Nas. His production got Nas his first Grammy a couple years ago with King's Disease. Hit Boy was definitely one of those producers that was working with Nipsey Hussle prior to him passing away. He's got Benny the Butcher sounding good for those of y'all that really listen to rap. So I want to give a shout out to him real quick, because he's helping a lot of people get their music, amped up a little bit. But he comes out and says, well, shit, what did Hit Boy say? Goddamn. Thought I had all this shit in front of me. But nonetheless, he basically came out and said this shit is real country, and I appreciate everybody who's supporting us. That's the gist of it. So then, under pressure, KYKC then folds, And they say, I think we issued a generic reply when we should have been more detailed. Let me get to the full response. Hell, I ain't playing with y'all today. Okay. Boom. I think we issued just a generic reply when we should have been more detailed. If someone emailed our country station and requested a Rolling Stones song, we would have probably replied the same. Beyonce is known for not being a country artist. They said not in all caps. So we just replied to that effect. They continue, but we are actually excited that she has crossed over to a new genre, and we will watch it closely to see if bigger stations start playing it and to watch it on the chart. We do play the song on our top 40 station KXFC, but haven't added it yet to our country station. We are big Beyonce fans here and really hope it does well, as we like seeing new artists get into the format. According to a report from TMZ, KYKC actually folded, and they did play Texas Hold'em for the first time this afternoon. That's a lot of back and forth. That's a lot of engagement. That's a lot of deliberation and making changes. And this is just one day. The tweet went out earlier this morning. They responded, said we don't play Beyonce. Now they say, oh, we're going to play it on our other station, our sister station. And before motherfucking daylight declined, they decided to run it on that motherfucker one good time. And I'm sure they're going to keep playing that motherfucker because the people have spoken. The people have spoken. As a matter of fact, the people have spoken so loudly in support of Beyonce, this has to be said, that Beyonce actually became the first black female artist to reach the top of Apple Music country charts in the US in history. They say she is also the first female black artist to occupy the first and second position on the chart simultaneously. Okay. And if you go to the Apple Music, just general, they have a playlist called the Top 100. And on that Top 100, this isn't country. This is just all music. You have Kanye West at number 1 with Carnival. Number 2 is Texas Hold'em. Number 3 is Beyonce's 16 Carriages. So she's back to back. And Kanye West is definitely dominating that Top 100. I wouldn't expect him to be so successful. So many people listening to him. But it seems that there's a lot of support rallying behind him. Unrelated, of course, to Beyonce. But interesting nonetheless. Okay. So here's what Salon.com has to say. Giddy up. Beyonce's going country. In her nearly 3-decade-long career as a member of girl group Destiny's Child and a mega pop star, nobody has ever been able to nail down the Houston-born singer. As the singer embarks on releasing her 8th album due on March 29th, the powerhouse only reinforces that she will always be a million steps ahead of her musical peers and fans who theorize about her next strategic move. During Sunday night's Super Bowl, the artist dropped a costly self-referencing Verizon commercial. How much did it cost, goddamn, since y'all want to say it? In which she announced, okay, they ready. Drop the new music. I told y'all the Renaissance is not over. What the fuck going on with this page, though? They say both songs are starkly different from the reclamation of black queer house-influenced disco heard in Renaissance. Did they call Renaissance disco? I guess house music wasn't a genre selection for the distributor, so they put disco. I don't like that shit. However, they say Act 2 is a late March release. However, that wasn't the only gift the singer left for her 2 fans. Of course, I talked about the 2 records. Okay. Of course, we've also talked about the speculation on whether or not Act 3 will be pop, rock and roll, R&B. Somebody comes out and says, Act 3 is going to be rock and roll. She's claiming all the music that was once created by black artists. She's reminding everyone we did that shit first. And that would be an interesting thing, right? Because on Act 1, she reclaimed house, which For whatever reason, we bastardized it and we left it out for other people to have fun with and take it. It was something that people across all sexualities enjoyed, but at some point, straight people, I guess, left it to the gays to have fun with, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think they had a very big part in it becoming a big genre. The parties, the Vogue, you know what I'm saying? All that good shit. We here with that. I don't judge it. I don't judge that shit at all. Act 2, we already see country music, which is, I already explained yesterday where it comes from. Rock and roll has the same origins with us, right? So I'm here for that. If that for my next act, it's all just some magical goddamn, we taking shit back. Fuck what y'all talking about. We invading the space. We taking up space where y'all don't want us. I'm with it. Furthermore, they say, however, this isn't the first time the singer has dipped her toe in the country music pond. Her innovative genre-bending 2016 album Lemonade features the country song Daddy Lessons. I made reference to that last night as well. The singer even performed the song with the progressive and controversial country band The Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, at the CMA Awards. That performance was met with strong backlash from conservative country music fans to the point that the CMA social media accounts scrubbed the performance from all platforms, which is very interesting because I didn't even know that happened. But the fact that how you scrub it from your social media, y'all was so proud to present it. Y'all was so happy to have Beyonce on there doing her shit. And then all of a sudden y'all try to act like it never happened. The internet don't forget. Okay. They say Beyonce is probably well aware of the implications and vitriol awaiting a black pop star pivot in the country, but that doesn't hold her back for rightfully going back to her southern roots. Texas Hold'em is the most traditional country song out of the two singles and is an homage to the singer's deep ties to Texas, where she's from. Houston, goddamn. Y'all know this shit. The up-tempo banjo-heavy song is infectious, and it's not difficult to imagine dancing a two-step to it. Beyonce has never sounded more southern as she sings It's a Real-Life Bookie and a Real-Life Hoedown. They say the song also features immaculate banjo and viola playing by black country musician Rhiannon Giddens, who I talked about last night, who's been credited for highlighting that the banjo was played by black people before it was popularized by white country artists. In true country music fashion, the song Subtle Wishes, woo-hoos, claps, and general call and response production even further highlight the proud Texan in the singer. Right? In 16 Carriages, the singer takes a more vulnerable and reflective approach to her venture into country music in an Americana-styled ballad. And this is where I admittedly got lost. Shout out to whomever was in the chat last night and in the comments last night talking about her pulling influence from Americana. I personally don't know Americana music. I know country. I've heard of bluegrass. I've heard of Americana, but I don't actually know what entails that sound. And again, to my knowledge, even those styles of music originate from the melanated side of life. We some creative motherfuckers. I'm just gonna throw it out there. They say for a genre known for its appeal to working class people and storytelling devices, Beyonce nails it. She also features the legendary black roots musician Rupert Randolph on steel guitar. You know what I'm saying? After the two releases on Sunday, Beyonce has already broken records. Again, she is at the top of the Apple Music US country charts. I guess going into next week, we'll see what type of position they play on the Billboard charts, if at all. We're probably going to see even more controversy surrounding this music going into, this next month, because we only got about, about a month and some change before this album goes live and everybody cranks that motherfucker up and tries to see what she talking about. This joint might even outperform Act 1, not even because of the music, but just because of all of the messaging and the press around it. All right. As country music radio is historically difficult to break into due to white conservative gatekeepers in Nashville, her legion of fans are campaigning for Beyonce's new music to get fair airplay on the radio. The racial reckoning in country music has created a long-standing schism within its ecosystem. Goddamn, I can't read tonight. And I mean schism, not schism. The old guard industry supports artists like the late Toby Keith and Jason Aldean, who have written and performed songs that have racist dog whistles to lynching and police brutality, appealing to the larger tense political climate fueling our culture wars. This establishment has been unable to accept the influx of progressive black country artists dominating the predominantly white and conservative genre, even when black musicians like T-Pain are behind the scenes songwriting. Country's exclusionary and racist atmosphere has driven them away. We talked about T-Pain too. Even popular white country artists like Maren Morris have decided to altogether leave the genre. I didn't know white folks was leaving country. God damn. Shit getting ugly over there. Altogether leave the genre behind because the music has turned into a toxic weapon in culture wars. Despite the constant battle, black artists are still reclaiming what has been historically tied to their ancestral roots. There's been an influx of popular artists ranging from the likes of Kane Brown, shout out to Kane, Allison Russell, Lil Nas X, Brittany Spencer, Joy Ola Dokun, and Giddens, who are redefining what country music looks and sounds like. Even black queer folk artist Tracy Chapman is receiving her flowers for Fast Car, receiving her first #1 hits 35 years after its release because a white country singer, Luke Combs, covered the song. They furthermore state, while Beyonce cannot fix what's irretrievably broken in country music, nor should it be her or any other black artist's responsibility to do so, what her exploration in the genre can do is give us all a new appreciation for black people who have long been told, for music black people have long been told doesn't love us back. Okay? So, shout out to Beyonce and shout out to the Beehive and all of the general music fans that put pressure on that fucking radio station to play that record and the sister radio station. You say y'all already been playing. Y'all didn't hear the country shit in there. Y'all ain't hear the instrumentation in that bit. Y'all thought y'all was slick. Yeah. Ain't nothing slicker than a can of oil, goddamn. So, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like that the people can actually speak out and pressure these motherfuckers into thinking twice. Because had nobody said anything, had nobody had any outrage or anything of that nature, they would have issued that man that email. They would have went about their day, would have clocked out, went home to their families and not thought twice about that shit. Nonetheless, they've been forced to think 3-4 times about that shit. And before end of the day, EOD, they had that song playing on GP. Don't you love to see it? All right. Now, again, Beyonce's new album, Act 2, will be out on March 29th. We're yet to see, it's just a couple days after the announcement, if there's going to be any other singles that come before the album, or if she's just going to let these 2 rock out and then let the album roll out and then everything else comes. She's very secretive. She does these pop-up events. She just springs it on us. She's keeping that trend going. I don't expect anything different, but stay tuned for more information, all right? I'm going to go ahead and sign out for the evening. I hope y'all enjoy y'all night. Hope y'all enjoy Valentine's Day with whoever you're going to be spending it with, even if it's with yourself. Make sure to love yourself if that's the case. Don't find yourself getting mad. You could do a Galentine's if that's what you into, or you could just chill at the motherfucking crib and do whatever the hell you want, whether you want to order out, you're cooking for yourself, you want to goddamn do some self-care, you want to listen to Beyonce all night. Do what the fuck you do, all right? But make sure that you enjoying it, all right? I'm going to take y'all out with Let's Get It One Good Time, and I will see y'all in a couple days. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.